ISKCON Coventry presents the Sunday devotional broadcast. Welcome and be inspired. Haribol.
Hare Krishna and welcome to all the viewers to our Sunday broadcast. It's been quite a month because we just finished Purushottam Mass, the special month which comes every 3 years, which is in the Katha of the Purushottam Mass. You know, it glorifies how very, very special this month is, and we did something wonderful. Every day we had a japa session in the evening, and then we added the reading of the scripture. First we started with Bhagavad Gita. We finished all of that, and then we started reading chapters of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So what a wonderful finish we had to Purushottam Mass, and it was so enjoyable by everybody, relishable by everybody who took part. That we will be continuing that in the month of Kartik, which will be coming in a couple of weeks' time, in about 15 days' time. So please, if you missed out for the Purushottam month, please join us when we repeat it for the month of Kartik, another very special month. So today we have a lovely program. We have Prabhupada very soon, sung by Ravitej Prabhu and Ishani Devidasi. Then we are trying to introduce a new topic on the Sunday program, and that's called Appreciating Srila Prabhupada. But for 5 minutes, we will either have some devotee glorifying Srila Prabhupada or some video footage of Srila Prabhupada. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. After that, we have bhajan kirtans for the first time. We got Mrs. Roy, a lovely Bengali lady who has been a lovely friend of our temple since the beginning days. She's lovely. There's just a sweetness about her, and she's going to sing a Bengali bhajan. And that will be followed by another bhajan kirtan by our own Gurbani Jai Nimai. Then there'll be singing of Jai Radha Madhav. And after that, we have a combination of a live chat with Gurusevak. We've been interviewing recent devotees who got initiated recently. That's Tama Varan Prabhu, Adarup Devidasi, Ravitej Krishna Das, Prem Prakash Gauradas. So that'll be the chat about their initiation and how things have changed for them since the initiation. After that, Guru Sevak himself will be giving us a short class and will be speaking on Ram Lila. As right now we're in Navratras and Diwali is coming very soon. That'll be appropriate. Then there'll be the Guru Aarti and then nursing prayers and announcements. So Hare Krishna. If Prabhupada Aarti we're ready for Prabhupada Aarti, let us go there, please, to Hinckley. And I said Ravitej actually is Prem Prakash and Ishani Devi.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. कृष्ण प्राप्ति होए जाए होते गुरुमुखा पद्मा वाक्या चेते ते कोरियो आख्या गुरुमुखा पद्मा वाक्या चेते ते कोरियो आख्या न करियो मन आशा न करियो मन आशा श्री गुरु चरण रखी से उत्तम गति श्री गुरु चरण रखी ऐसे उत्तम गति जे प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा जे प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित श्री गुरु प्रेम भक्ति जाते अविद्या विनाश जयते प्रेम भक्ति जाते अविद्या विनाश वेद गाय जार चरितो वेद गाय जार चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधमज नर बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधमज नर बंधु लोकेनाथ लोके रजवाना लोकेनाथ लोके रजवाना प्रभु करुणया देहो मोहे पद चया प्रभु करुणया देहो मोहे पद चया बीजाश कृष्ण त्रिभुवाना ए बीजाश कृष्ण त्रिभुवाना दुई पदाले लोय शरणा श्रीना प्रभुपाद पतित पवना जय गुरुदेव पतित पवना जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर नित्य गौर नित्य गौर नित्य गौर गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा
Thank you for that, Ishani Devi, and Prem Prakash Prabhu. Thank you. Very sweet as always. Prabhupada is a very special person. So, it's been more than 50 years since he began this Krishna consciousness movement. You have to read his life story. And there's a lovely biography written by all about him. If you read that, you will appreciate the incredible effort he put into creating and seeing to the future of the Hare Krishna movement. His contribution is at many, many levels, manifold. And we thought it would be very nice that within our Sunday program, we incorporate a section called Appreciating Srila Prabhupada. So we're working on it. We'd like to bring it to you next week properly. But right now, I just want to introduce the concept of Prabhupada's contribution to the world. And all these lovely temples, a lot of you may be familiar with around the world in the many different towns and villages, temples, centers, farming communities, restaurants. This is after 50 years it all started, and we, many of us will look for these places if you're traveling abroad, so we can find some familiarity and some comfort, knowing that I can go there and I can have some nice prasadam in that place, because we are strict vegetarians and we offer everything to Krishna, and we only take the food which has been offered to Krishna as prasadam. So Prabhupada introduced that all over the world it's happening. So we want to really appreciate him. And there are lovely, lovely videos of Prabhupada himself, either speaking, giving class, or in a conversation with some personality, or just some video following him around as he's walking. Some beautiful videos there. And there's another set of videos of devotees who had pleasure of encountering Srila Prabhupada, who are serving him, who are in his presence. They remember beautiful things about Srila Prabhupada, and they're sharing them in this Remembering Srila Prabhupada series of videos. So we're going to try and pull something together every week. We have some a slot for appreciating Srila Prabhupada. So today, I will just speak a lovely pastime about Srila Prabhupada. He had very few meetings with his spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. He met him on a handful of occasions, but each one was very significant. And on one occasion, for his very first trip to Vrindavan, very first trip. Now imagine that, you're going to Vrindavan for the first time, you have your family, you have your young children with you. Of course, you have your own plans, don't you? You have your plan that, that is, our time is short here, we are not here for very long, we need to go to such and such a temple, such and such a place to take darshan, we need to maybe go to Govardhan, go to Janmastan in Mathura. So you have many plans, you're full of plans, but Prabhupada realized his spiritual master is in Mathura Vrindavan. He's there, and he was doing a yatra, and he was speaking also. But at the time when Prabhupada went, his spiritual master became ill, so he wasn't able to move around, travel. So then so you can imagine Prabhupada, first time with family in Vrindavan, with lots of desires that, let's do this and this. Yet his Guru Maharaj is there, and Guru Maharaj is not giving, formal darshan, because devotees go to have darshan. And if they're disciples, they want to have darshan of the Guru. But it was because of the illness, everything was restricted. He was going to give a class, and that was it. So Prabhupada chose not to go on these different visits to different temples. He chose instead to go sit in the assembly of devotees, listening to Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj speaking, giving pravachan. He said this was more important, listening to my Guru Maharaj, than to go to different temples and take darshan. He said this is the highest benefit one can have, sitting at the feet of your spiritual master while he is speaking. This prayer we just heard just now, we sing it every week in the ISKCON temples. It's sung every day in the morning to Srila Prabhupada. Shri Guru Vandana. And in the second verse, it says, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitide Koriya Aikya. Arana Koryo more asha. Arana korio mane asha. And the meaning of this is, make the teachings from the lotus mouth of the spiritual master one with your heart. Make the teachings of your spiritual master coming from the lotus mouth of a spiritual master one with your heart. And what? Do not desire anything else. So that's what Prabhupada did by this example. On his first trip to Vrindavan, he gave the idea that I'm going to go and visit different temples with my family. I will instead go to where my Guru Maharaj is, and I will sit and listen. And you know, one lovely comment by Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj about Srila Prabhupada, which was noted by others, was that he said, Abhay Babu, because at that time, you know, he was Abhay Charan. He was Abhay. Then after initiation, it was Abhay Charan. So he said, Abhay likes to listen. So we are emphasizing a lot in our different classes and comments that Shravanam is very important. Shravanam is very important. So that's a beautiful pastime of Srila Prabhupada, you know, by showing by his own example the teachings of this song we sing every week. Today we are going to have bhajans by Mrs. Roy, as I said, who's been a very dear friend of our temple since the beginning, and also our own Guru Vani and Jai Nimai children of Pratik Pavan Kasturi Devi Dasi. So she's going to sing a song, and I will just read the translation of what she's going to sing. Okay, it says, Lord Chaitanya, the vehicle, has arrived on the Golden River. It stops at Radharani and Shri Van Mandir. Everyone is welcome. People who are poor and sad are all welcome. You can only have a ticket if you have bhakti and devotion in the bank. So this vehicle which has come with Lord Chaitanya, even to get on board, you need a ticket. But what is the big? How do you purchase a ticket? Bhakti and devotion. Shri Aditya is the ticket. Shri Advaita is the ticket master, and Nityanand is the engineer, and Shri Gauranga is the driver of the boat. Where does one find one who is so beautiful, one who is hard to find in 3 dimensions of the world with his peacock feather? He writes Radha's name. There is no one like him in looks and action. If you go to Vrindavan, you'll see Radha, you know, Radha written everywhere. Everywhere goes, you know, Radha is written everywhere. Even Krishna writes her name. So thank you for that. Let us go over and listen to these lovely bhajans. Mrs. Roy first. Haribol, Mrs. Roy.
Haribol. Start.
You start, yes. Please start.
আইলো রে চৈতন্যের গাড়ি সোনার নদিয়ায় আইলো রে চৈতন্যের গাড়ি সোনার নদিয়ায় রাই কোম্পানি জংশন হইল শ্রীবাসের আঙ্গিনায় রাই কোম্পানি জংশন হইল শ্রীবাসের আঙ্গিনায় আইলো রে চৈতন্যের গাড়ি সোনার নদিয়ায় গরিব দুঃখী কি সুবিধা যাইতে না রে কারো বাধা গরিব দুঃখী কি সুবিধা যাইতে না রে কারো বাধা শ্রী হরি ভক্তি মান্ডল দিলে কি কেটে পাওয়া যায়, হরির ভক্তির মান্ডল দিলে কি কেট পাওয়া যায়। আইলো রে চৈতন্যের গাড়ি সোনার নদিয়ায়, শ্রীয় দৈত্য টিকেট মাস্টার নিত্যানন্দ ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, শ্রীয় দৈত্য টিকেট মাস্টার নিত্যানন্দ ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, শ্রী গৌরাঙ্গ ড্রাইভার হয়ে সেই গাড়ি চালায়, শ্রী গৌরাঙ্গ ড্রাইভার হয়ে সেই গাড়ি চালায়। আইলো রে চৈতন্যের গাড়ি সোনার নদিয়ায়, আমি যারে ভালোবাসি তারে কোথায় পাই, আমি যারে ভালোবাসি তারে কোথায় পাই, তার মতো সুন্দর গৌরী জগতে নাই, তার মতো সুন্দর গৌরী জগতে নাই। আইলো রে চৈতন্যের গাড়ি সোনা নদিয়ায়, তার মাথায় ময়ূর পাকা, তে রাধার নামটি লেখা, তার মাথায় ময়ূর পাকা, তাতে রাধার নামটি লেখা, তার নয়ন বাঁকা ভঙ্গি বাঁকা ত্রিভঙ্গ কানার, তার নয়ন বাঁকা ভঙ্গি বাঁকা ত্রিভঙ্গ কানার। আইলো রে চৈতন্যের গাড়ি সোনা নদিয়া। হরি বল।
Mrs. Roy, thank you very much. Very, very sweet. Very sweet. And in fact, I think we should invite you more often in our programs, okay? You keep finding these beautiful bhajans and we'll invite you.
আমার তাল তাল গানের তাল এনিথিং ঠিক নেই।
Well, she's saying her throat isn't well today, but it was difficult, but we still enjoyed it. It was still very
Thank
sweet.
you.
Haribol.
Thank you, Haribol.
We'll go over to Gurbani Jai Nimai for their little bhajan kirtan.
Haribol.
Haribol, children.
We'll be singing a bhajan on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sundara bala sajidulala nachata Shri Hari Kirtan mein. Sundara bala sajidulala nachata Shri Hari Kirtan mein.
Jai, well done, children. That was beautiful. Well done, says Guru Vane and your younger brother Nimai, and with some backing by your parents, Patit Pawan Das and Kasturi Devi Das, hiding behind the camera there. But well done. That was actually quite lively. And little Nimai, you're doing so well now. You know, you're moving into that bracket where you're contributing, and I must compliment all the children during the japa and the reading sessions we had for Purushottam Mass. They were all contributing at an equal level with the idols. So well done to you. We will now go over to Pranava's house in Solihull, where again the children have been earmarked to sing Jai Radha Madhav, Sudarshan and Titiksa.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Givaradhari Jaya Givaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Givaradhari Jaya Givaradhari Yashodhanandana Brajanandana Yashodhanandana Yashodhanandana Brajanandana Yashodhanandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Madhava Jaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe.
Radha Madhava, Radhe.
Jaya Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman, Sitaram, Lakshman Hanuman. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami, Vavatumi.
Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami,
Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Shama Sundar Pyari Jagannath. Jai Shama Sundar, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Jai Maharani, Jai Subhadra. Oh, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Gaura Hari, Jai Sachinandana. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Jai. Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev, Jai Jai Gaur Hariba, 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 Gaur Hariba, Jai Gaur जय राधा माधव की जय, श्री गोपाल की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, गौर प्रेमानंद, हरि हरि बोल.
Haribo, Jaya. Well done, children, Sudarshan and Titiksa. Listen, I'm very jealous of you because, for a long time I had a fan club in our temple, but now it's rest in peace, sort of thing. You guys have got your own fan clubs now. Look, there's nice comments coming from different devotees. So one of them is saying, well done, Gurbani Jai Nimai, Sudarshan and Titiksa. Wonderful kirtans, and I agree, wonderful kirtans. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
We will now go to the main part of the program, which is in two sections. Guru Gurusevak Prabhu will be leading this. If in the first section, he will be conducting a chat with recent initiates about the changes they experience and the services, how they've changed since initiation. And then the Guru Sevak will, in the second section, he will actually give a little class, focus on the Leelas of Lord Ram, because right now, as I said, Navratra are happening right now, and very soon it will be Diwali. So we are getting ready for that. Hare Krishna.
So,
Jai Guru Sevak.
Haribol. So, Haribol, everyone. So we've had recently a lot of sessions with the Matajis and interviews with others. So we thought this week would be a good opportunity to interview the new initiates and actually find out how they're actually finding life after initiation and whether or not there is a difference. So I'd like to welcome Prem Prakash Gaura Prabhu, Tamal Varanam Das, Ravi Dej Krishna. Haribol, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
So I've got a few questions for you all today. What we'll do is we'll go through the same question and we'll get all three of you, to answer it individually. So we'll go around starting from Prem Prakash Prabhu. So first question is, who is your spiritual master and when did you get initiated?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. My spiritual master is His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. And
When were you initiated?
I was initiated last year, first day of Bhishma Panchaka. That's what I remember from Hindi calendar, not from the English.
You don't
If I
remember the
remember
date?
correctly, it is 11th of November. So
11th.
yeah, that's first or second day of Bhishma Panchaka.
Yeah, brilliant. So, Tamal Paranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. My Guru Maharaj is His Holiness Lokanath Maharaj. And, since Prem Prakash Guru Prabhu just mentioned, I'm racking my brains thinking of the exact date. I recall it being, I think it was the 14th of June, 2018. I think I've got baby brain myself.
2018, so God,
2018.
That's a couple of years now. Wow. And Ravi Tej Krishnadas Prabhu, who was your spiritual master and when did you actually
My
initiate?
spiritual master is His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, and I was initiated on 11th November 2019.
Yeah, so same day as Prem Prakash Prabhu.
Yeah,
It's funny actually. It's funny actually you guys say about the date because I still remember the date I was initiated. So 11th of July 1997. So that's like what 23 years ago. So yeah, it's amazing. It's that the initiation day is something very special, and you never really forget it throughout your spiritual life because that's the day when your whole life changed. My Guru Maharaj would say when he give initiation, he would call your name. So he said Rishi. My name before was Rishi. So he goes, Rishi, today your life has ended and you're born again and your name is Gurusevak Das. So it's a second birth, my Guru Maharaj used to say. So you always remember, and you see that there's a big difference normally when someone takes initiation from before and afterwards. They do feel like different elements in their spiritual life is different after initiation than it was before. So we'll just go around the three of you and find out what differences have you found from when before your initiation you used to do the spiritual activities and after. So Prem Prakash Prabhu, can we start with you?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So there's, I personally find a huge difference. And first difference which I find is mercy of Guru Maharaj, by whose mercy I was able to take first step in establishing relationship with Krishna, and the relationship is heart to heart. So I feel that in my heart that something has changed the moment I got initiated. First thing is that I got initiated, and next day it was Bhishma Panchaka, so I fasted all day before, and next day I got initiated. And I wasn't hungry at all. I was in mood of service. I don't know how it happened until afternoon. So and then His Grace Nitajan Prabhu, because you got initiated, so you are feeling light. So all your past deeds and karma has gone away, and that's the reason you are feeling that jubilation. You're feeling that jubilant, you're having that jubilant feeling in your heart. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And to be honest, my japa improved, and I was able to do so more, and I was able to have a relationship with my japa. So that's wonderful. That's something which is very encouraging. Also, I was able to take more services at the temple. I was able to attend by the mercy of Guru Maharaj. Obviously, I can't do myself. I was able to attend Mangala Aartis on Saturdays. I was able to do some service to Srila Prabhupada. I was also able to pick up few other services at temple, like website and all. But these are just the small services I was able to do.
So you found there was definitely some difference after initiation.
It is. To be honest, anyone get initiated. Yesterday, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj initiated few more devotees from Birmingham, and I was like, I'm getting re-initiated again when I was watching the ceremony. It's so, it's amazing, to be honest. It's amazing feeling. It's beyond imagination.
That sounds really wonderful. I think that we did notice definitely a big change in yourself afterwards. And even in just your general, almost your countenance and your mood, you seem like a totally different person. So it's definitely the mercy of the spiritual master. So on to Tamal Prabhu. So what differences have you found before and after initiation?
Oh, where do I begin? I think I might take the whole program. Obviously, associating with all the Coventry devotees such as yourself, and obviously Haridas Prabhu. Oh, sorry. Obviously, for me, it happened very, very quickly. I mean, talk about feeling. It was. I remember reading in. I remember doing. I remember when we went to Vrindavan, and I was walking around. This is before initiation, and I was at the top by Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi, and I remember reading. I always wanted initiation, right? And I remember reading, and this really hit me. There was a caption tablet on the wall, and it says, I can't remember all of it, but it says, until you haven't taken Diksha from a bona fide spiritual master, your mantra is useless. I remember Mangalarti just standing there and thinking, wow. And I was thinking, Krishna, I really want to be initiated. And for me, it was just lightning. And Gurusevak Prabhu, I don't know if you recall the feeling that, remember the first rounds you do after initiation? I think I don't need to say anything more than that. The feeling for me, and I mean, I've always been quite fired up. Like, I really enjoy chanting. I don't find it like some people try and they struggle, and I appreciate that. For me, I love chanting. Just sitting there and looking at my deities and chanting and thinking of Krishna. And what you taught me, think of Krishna Lila or think of Lord Ram's Lila. In terms of the services, and I'll intertwine between the two, and obviously I was always doing, thank God, Haridas probably engaged me at Mangalarti on Saturdays, and you would be there and we'd be listening to Bhagavatam Katha, and you guys would be on the altar and I'd be changing Hanumanji, and Haridas probably engaged me, obviously being sort of Srila Prabhupada's sort of pujari, changing Srila Prabhupada on a Saturday. And after I took initiation, for me, it was a feeling that I can't really explain. That, you know, that bliss when you're sitting in kirtan and like Gurusevak's doing kirtan and Shravan Kumar Das playing Tolki and it's getting to the high bit, and that, you know that feeling where nothing else matters. It doesn't matter, we have work tomorrow, or the children are thinking we've got school tomorrow, and that material stress is removed, that feeling. And after initiation, that's what I felt. And my japa took off straight away. And doing Aarti took off for me very quickly, and I felt submersed, and I felt, do you know, like my plug was always connected into the socket, but it wasn't flicked on until initiation happened. So when it was flicked on, there was that electrical buzz that he just switched on for me. It ignited, and like now I'll look at my Guru Maharaj, and I really, through lockdown, really miss my Guru Maharaj. I really, really miss him. And I'll get up in the mornings, and Guru Maharaj obviously does japa, and he will do class because of the timing difference. It will be like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. So when I get up, Guru Maharaj's class is already there on Facebook, and it's always the first thing that's on my phone. Yeah. And I try as much as I possibly can to make sure I listen to Guru Maharaj and listen to Guru Maharaj's classes. But for me, I still feel very, very switched on. It's just a feeling that I can't really explain. For those of you who are initiated, you can actually understand that feeling, and those of you aren't, it's a feeling that you have to experience because it's consistent. And when you have association of your Guru Maharaj, that feeling is electrified by 100% because your Guru Maharaj is right in front of you, and all of this is your Guru Maharaj's mercy. None of this can happen without the mercy of my Guru Maharaj. And I remember actually a week later when me and Radha Roop took Diksha, it was Rath Yatra. I don't know if you remember Gurusevak. And Guru Maharaj was there, and the kirtans were amazing. And I remember Guru Maharaj was in the car, and Guru Maharaj, he put his hand around my neck, and I said, Guru Maharaj, please bless me that I can one day do really nice kirtan. And he gave me like a slap on the back. And you know what it is? It's just these small little things that the Diksha has given me, and mercy of my Guru Maharaj has given me. And they're memories that are never going to leave me. And I feel really, really, really light, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I understand what you mean about associating with the spiritual master. For the last few days, I've been going through and uploading to my computer, going through the tapes we have of our spiritual master, because we used to have so many programs when our spiritual master was there. There was a whole box full of about 100 probably tapes of Guru Maharaj, like videotapes, like that are recorded on his video camera. So I'm actually systematically uploading it to my computer. I'm going to edit them and put the classes on the internet. And it's wonderful actually seeing Guru Maharaj there. You're literally transported back to that time. And even after the spiritual master leaves the planet, he never really goes anywhere if you maintain that association with him. So we live in a very fortunate age. In the times of Lord Sthani Mahaprabhu, the only way that the disciples would be able to associate with the spiritual master would be from his writings, because in the writings they would write what their instructions were and all that. We're very fortunate that we've got video, audio, we can listen to their classes, we can watch, and literally you're right there again. You're right there again with your spiritual master. And and you know, it's amazing because the instructions from your own spiritual master, he's given those instructions knowing all of his disciples. He knows exactly what their capability is. And it's said, actually, when the guru gives the instruction, he also gives the ability to carry out that instruction with the actual instruction itself. So he'll never actually give you an instruction that you can't follow. And in that note, there used to be one devotee that used to come. Vida Prabhu will laugh when he hears this. He used to be worried that if he takes initiation, Guru Maharaj will send him to ice the North Pole. And he would say that, I don't want to take initiation in case my Guru Maharaj tells me to go live in the North Pole. I'm like, bro, you couldn't even survive even if you lived in the North Pole. Why would he ever send you there? He goes, yeah, but what if he does? He was so frightened of the North Pole. But what it was is that any instruction that the Guru may give, once you're initiated, it becomes non-optional. You have to do it. So when you hear those classes by your spiritual master, we're giving you those instructions, Guru Maharaj used to say, excuses don't work. He goes, with me, excuses don't work. And this is why it's so important to keep associating with your spiritual master, watching his videos, his classes, and all these kind of things. And we do the prayer every day, the Guru Mukha Padmavakya Chetete Koriyakya, that the words of our spiritual master, we should join to our heart. And even just by following one instruction of your spiritual master, you can get success in spiritual life. So very nice point there. So Ravi Tej Prabhu, what have you found is the difference from before and after initiation?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, from before, like I used to I used to do some services at the temple previously as well. With all your instructions, and when I used to have chanting with Haridas Prabhuji or discussion, everything like that. But after the initiation thing, I could feel that even Haridas Prabhu many times he mentioned that the way to connect the Guru Parampara is the initiation, and he gave the importance of initiation before getting initiation. So that was very much in my heart to get the blessings of His Grace Jayapataka Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, and after getting that initiation, whenever I do chanting in home or in temple or anywhere, I could feel that I could connect it to the parampara, and I could feel at least that means I am also like part of this parampara where Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and with the temple's devotees association, I am also well connected. Though I was member like in the temple, like actively participating in some services, but after the association, after the initiation, the same association looked much more fruitive for me, and it was really great feeling, like very blissful feeling, where whatever the services I do, even I might be doing very little services comparatively because of some constraint from my side only, but that was very blissful whatever the services I do, and I'm getting some instructions. I was planning wherever the preaching side as well, or the Harinam Kirtan, which we actually started at some point, to be like part of some preaching, to be part of some instrument in the preaching. So that was really positive
I
side,
mean,
only
so
possible
sorry
after
to
the.
interrupt you. Can you actually go into, because I know I was going to touch on that. You actually did start a program once the lockdown happened. You can talk a little bit about that. So what was that you started?
Yeah, initially, like with some of the devotees and friends, we started Hare Krishna kirtan every day. Every day we used to do the kirtan
On Zoom.
from 6 to 7. Yeah, on Zoom. Yeah, because of this pandemic and lockdown thing and the COVID. That the though it was very disturbing, but it came like as mercy from the Krishna. Like it came as a started as a kirtan. Like means though we did not means everybody was panic, but we were trying to get the instructions from Hardas Prabhuji and Vidur Prabhuji and do the start the kirtan at the time. And we could able to means invite many devotees at the time. Like we could at some peak time like nearly 10 to 15 devotees from different places, or and some of them are already preaching in different places, and some of them are new to the kirtan completely, and they used to join there and they used to get that blissful experience at the time in the kirtan, evening kirtan. And
Wow.
that
Right.
that was really great service, like I could feel. And later on we with the together, like we started Bhagavad Gita for kids club, Bhagavad Gita classes for kids club, Madhuri and me. And that is also like was well started, and it is still going on now. That small services because of we feel like to do some services and blessings of Guru Maharaj and the temple, we could able to take up the small services and do our bit in preaching as well.
It's very important to know. Thank you for that, Vijay Prabhu. It's amazing to know you'll do so much more after initiation than you ever did before. My Guru Maharaj used to say it's like being connected to the powerhouse. And that's what Tamal Prabhu's example was very apt. That if the plug is in the socket, but it's not connected, the socket's not connected to the powerhouse, you're not going to get any power. But as soon as it's connected in, that plug socket can power so many things. So our spiritual life is like that. Initiation really is the key. And I think a lot of people that have hesitated over the years to take initiation, for them, it can be a very big step. But for those of you that have taken the step, you know this is the first step. It literally is just Guru used to say, initiation seems like a big step to you, but you're just stepping into the classroom, because now the lessons begin. Now the tests will come. So for spiritual life, initiation really just is the initial. It's the initial bit, getting in. And the real spiritual life starts from now. And it's wonderful. You've all spoken about your services that you've done after initiation and also before as well. And I think everyone has found there's a marked improvement in that. But obviously something, for some of you, obviously Tamal Prabhu was initiated in 2018, so had a little bit more time with the temple. And I feel really bad for some of the first initiates. A few months after you got initiated, we ended up with COVID around the world and a lockdown. And especially since before that, we were renovating the temple for that whole year as well. So we forget, actually, last year was a very busy year for us. We had renovations going on in the temple, which took up quite a lot of the year. We had amazingly successful Ram Katha by Pundrit Maharaj. It was absolutely wonderful. I was looking at the pictures the other day. And as soon as the temple was finished, I think it was Jayapataka Maharaj that opened the temple with a program, I think it's January 13th, I think it was. And literally within the space of a couple of months after that, we had to shut the temple down because of COVID. So I just want to ask you guys, because obviously all of you being so new in your Krishna consciousness, how has this lockdown affected your spiritual life? So if we start with Prem Prakash Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Well, the answer is to be for spiritual life. But for me, I work in IT industry. So basically, for me, they expected to work more because all I had to do is work from home. That means I don't have time. I'm saving my time for travel. So they wanted to utilize my travel time for my office work. But by the mercy of Guru Maharaj, I was able to keep on with my sadhana and felt more connected. I had time to actually invest in my chanting a bit more seriously, a bit more focused on, a bit more prayerful, and do the things. We were also able to, because Guru Maharaj actually instructed that we should preach online, whatever our capacity is. So we thought of like what is best, what is better. I mean, the best is to please the family. So we asked our family. Ishani took the initiative, and then uh, our family members, we get together, do it wrong every day, and then try to discuss either on the Bhagavad Gita or Vaishnava Bhajan and all. So that keeps us moving with our service, at least. Basically, that's going on. I was able to chant a bit more. I mean, than my regular lines as a because Guru Maharaj asked that if you can, then please chant. So we were able to do so. But overall, I felt more connected spiritually, and I was able to, and I can still feel that over here in my heart. So that connection is there. So that's a wonderful thing that I had. We were able to organize few events, small events by ourselves for Nam Sankirtan, New Dharma, and
So would you say that the lockdown has been a hindrance for you then, or not?
I mean, I don't really feel that it is a hindrance, although I really missed Mangal Aarti, but then Krishna was merciful to engage me into other services. So he gave us opportunity to engage or associate with devotee more than what I would have been doing earlier. So during this Purushottam, we had chanting every day, and that's wonderful. Basically, if there was chanting, if the COVID is not there, wouldn't have been possible to travel every day to temple for chanting. Basically, now it feels like we are sitting right next to each other. We are talking to each other. That's wonderful, actually. It might be a block. It might be a hindrance for others, but for people who are really serious about spiritual advancement, might be an opportunity to progress, giving us so much time to think about what we are doing and how we can progress.
Sure. Thank you, Ravi. So, Tamal Prabhu, would you say that the lockdown has affected your spiritual life, and how?
I mean, I furloughed myself for a good couple of months, and my spiritual life was still quite strong. Because I've always, again, like I mentioned earlier, I enjoy chanting. So I started going back. This is the worst thing. I started going back to Mangalarti, and we had lockdown. So to tell you the truth, where it has affected my spiritual life is the temple. I'm just as Prem Prakash Gaur Prabhu just said, I miss Mangalarti, I miss Kirtans every single time. I don't think there's been a day that's passed when Radharup hasn't said to me, I miss Kirtan. And it would just come out the random blue. I really miss being in Kirtan. And as much as these Zoom Kirtans and Japas, they're all very helpful, and it's wonderful that we have this technology that can put us in that position. It's not the same thing. You want to be immersed in front of Sachinanda Nitai Chand, and there's a Kirtan going, and there's that atmosphere. I miss that. So has it affected my spiritual life? Yes, it has. And I will openly say it has in that aspect. But from the other spiritual aspect of the fact that, I've tried to make time to read Bhagavatam, and I mean, for those of you who know me, I like researching, and I've been looking at different Vedas and stuff like that. So yes, it has given me an opportunity to enhance my spiritual life. And obviously I've had more opportunity to listen to Guru Maharaj. Obviously for those of you who know me, they know I'm an estate agent, so I'm still very busy. We have to go and see people who have to make sure they're accredited, COVID free, which is good for me, and make sure that everybody around me is free as well. But I'm still doing the same thing. I drive and I chant, I listen to Kirtan. So that part is still very much the same. For people like me who are still working, nothing's really changed. But what the biggest chunk, I'd say, which is a very high percentage of what has taken a jump out of my spiritual life, is the fact that I want association of all the devotees in person. Yeah. And that's what's missing for me, the association of devotees, serving the lordships, in whatever capacity that I can. That's, distributing prasadam, honoring prasadam, serving Srila Prabhupada, serving Hanumanji. These things for me are basic beliefs that I keep quite close with me, that I need. For that part has affected my spiritual life. The chanting has got better because now I can when Gurungi, and those who know Gurungi, she's a really supercharged little baby. So when obviously Gurungi goes down for sleep, then me and Radha, we can sit properly and we can chant. So that bit, there is an enhancement, because then we can get a bit of downtime. We wouldn't normally have that if the lockdown didn't happen. So certain part, yes, my spiritual life has been affected very heavily, but on the other side of the spectrum, I have gained as well, where these obviously the Sunday programs are still there, the book club is still there. There's still multiple factions that are still very, very good.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that even for myself, I would say my spiritual life has been, like I said, the sadhana side you can do much better, and the fact that you're not around materialistic people, because I'm working from home as well in IT, so you don't have to associate with materialists at all. Like, you don't have to be around them or hear their silly conversations or anything like that. So it's great in that way. You get that time where you can sit and focus at home, and even while I'm doing work, I'll have kirtan playing, or I'll be reading Srimad Bhagavatam halfway through or something like that. So there's definitely advantages there. The biggest thing I'm personally missing is serving Satyam Nitaijan as a pujari, not being able to go there and be in the temple and be in their association. Because devotee association we're missing as well, but we're getting a lot of that, as Prem Prakash said, we're getting a lot of that now. But the deities association, that's why when we took the deities around to everyone's houses on Janamastami, I got the service of doing that, and it was actually wonderful just spending the day with the deities. When I was driving, I was looking in the mirror and seeing Satchidanand in my rear mirror, and it was actually wonderful. I was singing to them all day, Jeff, and it was just nice spending the day with them. So I think missing that, and even it sounds silly, but the kirtans, not that bit doesn't, but I actually miss washing the dishes in the actual kitchen. When we used to go after the program and wash the dishes, it's a wonderful time to be able to talk to the devotees who's washing the dishes with you, share some pastimes of the Lord, talk about spiritual life. I do remember even when Ravi Tej Prabhu first came to the temple, I was washing dishes with him in the kitchen. And this is a few years ago. And I remember it. I was doing a different job at the time. And I said to him, I said, "Oh, are you in IT?" He goes, "Yeah, I am." I goes, "I'd love to go into automation testing." I wasn't in testing at all at that time. And Ravi Tej Prabhu goes, "I'm an automation tester." And I was like, "What?" And I hadn't even seen him before. I thought, "Who's this Prabhu? He's just come to the temple." And he told me, "I'm an automation tester." I was, "Oh, I'd love to get to know you." And the crazy thing is, I changed jobs a couple of weeks later. And when I walk in the office, guess who's sitting there at the desk? I walked up and I was like, I know that guy. I went to my boss. I was like, "Yeah, I don't know you, but just hold on a second." And I tapped Ruby on the shoulder. I was like, "Hari Bol from me." He goes, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "What are you doing here?" And literally, we started associating from them. And I was there for like a year and a half at DHL. And every day we would go for walks and we'd discuss spirituality at lunchtime. Very much like when Tamal Prabhu came, we used to go to the gym and we would discuss spirituality while working out. And the workout would take like 4 hours because So that association, that physically being there with the devotees, and it's funny, and seeing them engage in service. When you see other devotees doing service and you see the bhav they're doing it with and the mood, and when someone's doing arti with such love or they've made such wonderful preparations for the Lord, it inspires you to think, "Hey, one day I want to do that." So that's the kind of things that I'm missing. So, Ravi Tej, how has the lockdown affected your spirituality?
Yeah, probably. Actually, just before the lockdown, actually, I was means I finished the contract with Santander. Means after working with you in Coventry, at the time that was one of the best times in my life, I can say. We were having nice association with you there, and we used to even discuss some temple programs or spiritual at that time lunch time while walking. That was really wonderful time. And later on, I came to Milton Keynes looking for a better job here, which is local, but that lasted only for 8 months. And later on, I was there was a break, and before this COVID, I was actually in a dilemma whether to go for a new job or, as we are expecting baby at the time, whether to hold on. But luckily, by knowing Krishna's mercy, I can say as I got the job in South End on Sea, which is quite far from Milton Keynes. It's almost like nearly, I think, more than 130 miles up and down. So I went means 4 days there. By then the pandemic became very means like there are so many cases around. So at the time, Madhavi Madrasita Devdas, then she told that not to just stop going to job and just take a break or something like that. Then I just called my manager and told that it may be difficult for me to come back. Then he told that okay, work from home, you got everything set up ready. It was
Let
like
you
that.
work from home.
Yeah, I just went 4 days to South Indian Sea. Otherwise, without this lockdown and getting a new job at this time is very difficult for any of the IT contractors, and also um, because I'm able to work from home, I'm definitely spending more time in doing my task because I can't even means give an excuse there. But the thing is, the whole time I'm spending with family, and also like doing the chanting as well. I got enough time to do sit properly and do the chanting. That was together do arti. That is really the positive side I can say as at this means lockdown time, because I need not worry about rushing to office or coming out tired. Like I got whole day in my hand to
But
spend with kids.
you picked on a good point there. Sorry to interrupt you, but you've all got small children. Now, being at home with small children must be extremely challenging. Having just gone to rugby and seeing Gorangi running around, like little kids, they seem to have unlimited energy. So, how has that been for you with so many small children at home and being there all the time? How is it affecting you and affecting your ability to maintain your Krishna consciousness, etc.? Has it been a challenge or not?
Yeah, actually, truly
Yeah.
speaking, like, thank you for asking that question, Prabhuji. Like, I've really, like, Krishna's Marchi, I can say that, like, we are really, even Mother Sita, like, yes, definitely, we are also like any parents, like, we get sometimes, why is he doing something like that? But to teach them, but every moment, we enjoy with the kids. Now we got Jai Krishna, Gaurang, and Nanda, three kids. So it's really very house will be like every time will be uh, more lively in home. Whatever do, like of course they may not be understanding Krishna consciousness, but we try to teach them something when we are doing, like Gaurang, when he was two place, he like after Aarti, then he only used to say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and his duty is to give the Bhagavad Gita to everyone, one Bhagavad Gita to each. He know whose Bhagavad Gita, which one is whose Bhagavad Gita, and he used to give that one, and we used to read one sloka from Bhagavad Gita. So it's like they are able to get that one. So that small point, like where we are able to give some small Krishna consciousness to a little kid, though means we feel like it's our kid, but it's Krishna's mercy that we got opportunity to make them devotees. Like mainly, I am very much impressed by looking at you and Alok Prabhuji. Like means I was like every time whenever we discuss, like me and Mother Siddha, like we used to think like if we are able to bring up the kids like Gurusevak Prabhu, Alok Prabhu, Sudarshan, or like all the spiritual kids, Gurbani. So if we are able to bring up the kids like that, then that will be like our job is done. We will be anyway in Krishna consciousness because of them and the temple association. And if you are able to give them proper Krishna consciousness like that, then it will be like it's like both way happy situation. I feel.
You know what? It's amazing you say that, because it's nice to see parents nowadays trying to do what you're doing, because I'm lucky. My parents, they raised myself, Alok, all of us Bandari kids. We got raised in the temple, and we were so lucky to have our Guru Maharaj here. Every year he would come for 3-4 months in the summer and stay and train us. So it's very encouraging to see the children at such a young age learning shlokas, playing mridanga, doing kirtan, because I did exactly those things. So did all of us Bandari kids. And so it's very encouraging, and by keeping them engaged in that way, they really will progress. And I say every time I hear Jai Krishna coming to read one of the shlokas or read the verse, I'll be honest with you, other people I may or may not listen to. When he comes on, I'm listening. His pronunciation is so brilliant. You don't even think he's a kid. We call him Panditji. He just comes on and sounds so definite in whatever he's saying. So it's wonderful. So same question to Tamal Prabhu. How have you found it with a kid, especially someone as active as Gurangi at home?
Well, I'm blessed with my Jagannath Prasad, which is Radha Roop. I'm actually sitting on my desk. I have to actually I ordered a desk, a leaning back chair, just so I can get a bit of rest from Gurangi whilst I'm working. I mean, the thing is, obviously Radha Roop will look after Gurangi whilst I'm working. The thing is, my job is very telephone based. And I've actually had to come very honest with my customers and say, look, I'm working from home and my daughter will come in screaming, and they've just got used to it. Believe it or not, she'll come in and she'll, daddy, 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 daddy. And the thing is, on the other side of the spectrum, this is time that I'm never going to get back. So I thank the Lord that He's put me in a position where I can work from home, and Gurangi still has association of both her parents. I mean, Radha does an amazing job because Anuragi Didi brought Gurangi, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra as really big cushion little deities. They're quite big. They're big. And what she'll do is she'll sit them on the sofa and she'll start doing arti. So it's for us, it's about, we want spiritual development. And we went out today just on a cycling ride just to get some fresh air and stuff. And Radha was saying that it's so sad that the children and Gurangi, they're losing out and they're missing out on this amazing time in the temple in Balgopal Kras. And so Gurangi now, I mean, she's part of Aarti, she sings, and she knows in her singer their prayers, she knows when to say Jai. And I mean, a lot of the time we sing to her at night and it's part of the routine. So after obviously giving her a bath, and she has a dudu, she has a milk, and we'll do Nrsinga their prayer, and she won't let us put her to sleep, and she'll say Shri Ram, Shri Ram. So she wants us to sing her Shri Ram, and obviously we will sing Shri Ram to her, and she'll point. So we've observed, like on the TV, we leave YouTube on, and there'll be all sorts of kirtan, and they'll have pictures of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and she will literally do pranams. And we as parents, we feel so happy that she's having the association for us to teach her. Because, I mean, I remember Prabhupada actually saying, and I know this is a bit of a really strong and a bit of a statement, you failed as a parent unless your children are Krishna conscious. That should sit with a lot of parents who are practicing, because you want your children to understand what the meaning of life is, and learning shlokas, doing kirtan, glorifying the lordships. I mean, in the mornings when I'll do arti, she'll come in and she won't say hello to me, but she'll do pranam to the deities. She'll actually matatek to the deities.
Wonderful. So just very quickly before we have to go.
Sorry.
So thank you for that. So Priya Prakash Prabhu, how have you managed having not so small a child, but still having a child at home during the lockdown, etc.?
Yeah, I, like everyone, I'll give credit to Vishani basically to manage Aradhya's time and getting him engaged in many clubs and other stuffs basically. But what I'll say that Aradhya is a blessed kid basically, as Prabhupada has said that children in Krishna consciousness are children from Vaikuntha. So it's so much more for me to learn from him rather than I can teach him. So I enjoy every bit of his power, what he has for the deities. I really relish it. So I somehow, as long as I'm able to keep him engaged in service, I really enjoy being with him. So it's never been a hindrance for me.
And one thing I have noticed about both Jai Krishna and Aradhya, when the temple was there, I personally saw them and I thought these two are the naughty kids, because they were always running around causing mischief together. And it's funny, those two have made the biggest strides when it comes to book club and all that kind of stuff. And my father said it directly. He goes, those kids are too clever, because we weren't stimulating them enough in the temple. But when it comes to now, where they're able to show off their cleverness and learn shlokas and reading, they're really taking the bull by the horns and doing it. So this is the thing, as adults in this movement, it's our job to train the youngsters in this way and engage them. Because this is the age where you can learn shlokas. Take it from me, I was learning loads of shlokas when I was young, just like Sudarshan and others are doing. As soon as you get into your 20s, that ability to just learn like that, it starts to go. So this is the best time to do it. So thank you all very much. This has been a very enlivening interview. I think it's very nice to get your perspectives on your initiation and life after initiation and obviously during COVID. Thank you very much. And I think what we're running now may be slightly late. We're going to go for Aarti at the temple. And we'll go just back to Vidura Prabhu to announce the Aarti and who's singing that. So thank you all very much for joining us today.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhus. Bhata Shri Satsang there. Yes. Many points came out there, and I just wanted to contribute myself, but I couldn't. So it's nice when the devotees get engaged in that was like a satsang there, you know, so just an informal satsang there, the way they were talking. And when you're talking with Krishna at the center of the conversation, you know, time just flies by. Time just flies by. So we will have Krishna Lila by Gurusevak probably next week now. But now we'll go over to the temple and also to Salihal Pranava's house for the Gora Aarti. And then the main Aarti will be sung by Patipan and family. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Kiva Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Aroti Pasho Kiva Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Aroti Pasho Jagha Manalo Janami Tatavani Jagha Manalo Daki Tai Chan Kada Daki Tai Chan Amegadhara Nikartaya Dvaita Shini Vasa Chakradhara Nikateya Dvaita Shini Vasa Chakradhara Vashi Yache Doracha Ratna Siddhasa Vashi Yache Gauracha Ratna Siddhasa Arati Korena Brahma Adi Deva Gyane Arati Korena Brahma Adi Deva Gyane Nara Hari Adi Kori Chamara Gulaya Nara Hari Adi Kori Chamara Gulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Go Shadija Sanjaya Mukunda Go Shadija Shankha Bhaje Kanta Bhaje Bhaje Karata Shankha Bhaje Kanta Bhaje Bhaje Karata Madhura Mridanga Bhaje Paramarasara Madhura Mridanga Bhaje gandha baje, madhur baje,
Gandha baje, gandha baje, madhur 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 baje.
और शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे
मधुर 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 बाजे।
ओ मधुर 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 बाजे
मधुर मधुर मधुर
ओ
बाजे।
मधुर 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 बाजे बेटा गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल जय गौर
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौर हरि बोल।
बाहु कोटि चंद्र जी वदन उज्ज्वला बाहु कोटि चंद्र जी वदन उज्ज्वला काला देशे वाला करे जाना माला
काला देशे वाला माला
करे जनमाला शिवा सुता नारदा प्रेमे राधा
शिवा सुता नारदा
प्रेमे देवी राधे गौरा रसंपादा
आकाशी विनोदा देखे गौरा संपादा
ओ गौरांगेरा रति शोभा जगत मना लोभा
गौरांगे आरती शोभा जगत नमना
ओ
लोभा
गौरांगेरा रति शोभा जगत मना लोभा
गौरांगे आरती शोभा जगत नमना
ओ
लोभा
जगत मना लोभा
जगत नमना
ओ
लोभा
जगत मना लोभा
जगत नमना लोभा
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल 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 हरि बोल।
Namayam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namayam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvashesha Sanyavadi Pashatai Dishatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvashesha Sanyavadi Pashatai Dishatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri
Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Gaura.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Vivo.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe. Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Ramana Radha Ramana Radhe. Jaya Radha Ramana Radha Ramana Radhe. Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radhe. Jaya Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Radhe. Jaya Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman 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 Jaya Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. Nandana Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Raghunandana Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare. Raghunandana Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare. Raghunandana Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare. Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare. Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare. Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Jai Raghunandana Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare. Nandana Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare. Nandana Raghava Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare Siya Rama Hare. Jaya Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Nayana Patagami Baba Tume. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Nayana Patagami Baba Tume. Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami
Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya 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 Subhadra. Jaya Manima, Jai Ho, Jaya Manima, Jaya Manima, Jaya Manima, Jaya Manima, Jaya Manima, Jaya Manima, Jaya Manima. Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Sacinandana Gaura Hari, 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 Gaura Jaya Sacinandana Gaura Hari, Jaya Sacinandana Gaura Hari, Jaya Sacinandana Gaura Hari. Jaya Nitachan, Jaya Nitachan, Jaya Nitachan, Dika Chakradam. 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 Nitanimai, Jaya Nitanimai, Nitanimai, Jaya Nitanimai, Nitanimai, Jaya Nitanimai, Nitanimai, Jaya Nitanimai. Nitanimai, Jaya Nitanimai, Nitanimai, Jaya Nitanimai, Nitanimai, Jaya Nitanimai, Nitanimai, Jaya Nitanimai. Nimanita, Jaya Nimanita, Nimanita, Jaya Nimanita, Nimanita, Jaya Nimanita, Nimanita, Jaya Nimanita.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Nimai, that was amazing, and we enjoyed your mridanga playing. And honestly, if you stand up that mridanga on its side, you and the mridanga will be the same height. So you managed it very, very well. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramamsa Parivrajakacarya Stotha Sri Srimati Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Vividi Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Shri Sachinanda Nitai Chan Ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Madhav Ki Jai. Shri Manima Shri Madhusan Shri Giri Raj Ki Jai. Prem Se Go Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanand Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Radha Kund Shama Kund Giri Godhan Ki Jai. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra Ki Jai. Hari Nam Sankirtan Yaga Ki Jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. ISKCON Coventry Yatra Ki Jai. ISKCON Worldwide Yatra Ki Jai. Gaura Premana Hari Bol. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled viewers. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru Shri Gaura. Jai. Thank you. We'll do Nasingati now. We'll be going over to Anil Prabhu in Reading, Scheduling. The name, we have a few names to remember, and they are Satyanarayan, our god brother, who recently had some heart operations. I need to go back in for some complications, so we pray for him. Kachubai Vaghela in rugby, he's just being made comfortable at home, and the family been with us throughout the japa sessions. So Kachubai Vaghela, ongoing recovery of Prem Manjari, of course, and Shraddha Devi. She's got the collar off now. That's nice. Just found out that Barita, who's part of our temple, her father passed away, so she's flown over to be with the family. So remember her father. I just got a message from Vasani Harini. She's saying for his Grace Anand Kishori Devi Dasi, who has stage 4 cancer. So remember all these devotees and the friends of the temple. Hare Krishna, Anil Prabhu. Nasingati, please.
Hare Krishna. Narsingadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. Namaste Narashingaya. Namaste Narashingaya. Praladaladaine. Hiranyakashipurvakshaya. Shilatanka Narkalaye. Ito Narsinga Parato Narsimho. Yato yami yato narsimho. Bahe narsingo hirdaye narsingo. Narasingamadim sharana prapale. Tavakara kavalamare. Nakam avabuta shringayam. Taleta hiranyakashipur. Talavingam. Keshavarta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Tavakara Kavalamare Nakam avabuta shringayam Taleta Hiranyakashipur Talavingam Keshavadirta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narsimhadev 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 Jaya Narsimhadev Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Satchinandana Jaya Nitai Chand Satchinandana Jaya Nitai Chand Gaura 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 Hari Gaura 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 Hari Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Jai Narasimhadeva Bhagavan ki jai जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय श्री सचिनंदन निताय चांद की जय श्री राधा माधव की जय श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय जय गुरुदेव की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल
Jai, thank you, Anil Prabhu. Shri Nrsingadev ki Jai. So the last name was from Vasan Harini. Actually, just realized that she's the daughter of our godbrother and god sister, Vivaswan Prabhu and Ram Pyari Devidasi in London. And Vivaswan also, we should be remembering you also in our prayers, because you also had some operation recently. So hope you're doing well. So actually, you can see that the devotees are not immune from being thrown challenges in their lives. Although by taking shelter of Krishna, there's a lot of challenges and tribulations the devotees are having to handle right now. So we pray for their well-being everywhere. Thank you. I have some announcements now. Thank you today also to Harish Bhai Dokia, who was part of the Krishna Monday. It was his birthday today, so he sponsored the bhog offering for this evening to our lordships at the temple, and the morning was sponsored by Pati Pavan Das to our lordship. So thank them very much. But I also want to thank all the devotees and friends of the temple who sponsored the bhoga throughout the month of Purushottam Mass. As I said earlier on, if you this was such a wonderful period for us. We really enjoyed it, and the devotees were being nicely looked after every day. There's an opportunity coming again in a very short time, couple of weeks' time, to do the sponsoring again in this another special month, the month of Kartik. So that'll be starting in about 15 days' time, or sooner than that. So please get in touch with us if you want some sponsor bhoga to our lordships be sponsored by you. That opportunity is there. Next week is also Dussera. Next week, Dussera. The timing may be a day or so. This happens frequently because we are running the festivals according to the lunar calendar. So it's based on Tithis. And Tithis are sometimes different for Bharat, India, and here. So, but we will be celebrating Dussera next Sunday. So Sunday's program will be dedicated to Ram Lila. So Gurusevak will talk, give us some wonderful Lila of Lord Ram for the Dussera next week. The children will be doing Lord Ram bhajan or kirtan. There'll be apparently we are being promised a special darshan for next week, so look forward to that. And we will be talking more about Kartik and also Sharad Punma coming at the end of the month. We can give details of that next week. So well done to everybody. Let me just make sure that I made all the announcements. Yes, thank you. If you want to stay in touch with us, you can do so through our website, www.krishnavrindavan.com. And the usual communication channels. We have WhatsApp groups. Some of you may have our phone numbers. So Hare Krishna. Thank you for your spending your time with us this evening, and we'll see you next week. Hare Krishna.